All right, Holy Moses in the building. We're at the Lay Frame compound, and we want to welcome back our co-host, the bearded beauty, Mr. Chris Newman. And we want to welcome in the house, Mr. Eric. Eric, how do you pronounce your last name?
Zap.
Eric Zap, and Mr. Jeff Davey.
Hey, what's up?
Customs. What's up, man? How are both of you guys doing?
Doing good.
Living.
Hell yeah. Well, from Jeff, from your pictures, you're always on a boat.
I do a lot of boating.
I want to welcome both of you guys to the show. I want to thank you, Eric, for being up. I know you got to be at work in a few hours. Jeff, I want to thank you also for coming on because this is epic. You know, both of you guys are also really good in the scene. Jeff, you've been a long time OG member in the scene from the Big NC in the back.
Yeah.
I remember meeting you years ago with Big D when you had a shop in California, and there was a K5 Blazer that was you were building. I had a wraparound dash on it. So I remember meeting you at that time. Happy to have you on, Eric. Happy to have you on, Eric. You are Rolling Reckless Apparel.
Yep.
So is that your brand of what you have of like what do you have that people can go get? Like you got shirts, hoodies.
Yep. Yeah. So if you guys check out the website, it's Rollin ROLLIN Reckless RECKLEZZ.co, and we have everything from hoodies, hats, license plates, bags, you name it. It's on there. So you can catch us at a lot of shows this year too.
Cool. Jeff, same thing. You guys have a lot of stuff on your website, also, some
good
merch and some awesome parts. If you haven't noticed, a lot of these guys in the scene have been doing it for a while. Jeff has been having a shop. He's been building some badass stuff. And he's also been making waves in the aftermarket department of building hard to find kits for vehicles that you don't think of. You know what I mean? Like what up, Ryan Olsen? Like the Lincoln, your devious kit that you have for Lincolns. That's something you don't see a lot. A lot of Lincolns, the 60s and the 70s, you don't see a lot of people that bag them. Like the 60s, the suicide doors, yeah, but like the older ones, you don't see people doing them. The other older ones, so it's like to see that's badass. So, and Eric, doing your media, that's even better because you get to travel, you get to check out stuff, and and be able to video and show people, hey, this is what people are building in different areas.
It's fun. I enjoy. I post everybody else's trucks more than I post my own, so everybody likes to see them. So it's fun just to talk to everybody at the shows and hear all the different stories behind the builds and meet people from all over the country. So I definitely enjoy it.
It's crazy. Jeff, question for you. Do you feel like how everything that's going on and you've been building stuff for a while, are we getting to the point where it's getting a little too easy to start bagging vehicles, or are we still in the, okay, we still got to pound some stuff out, make some metal, do some stuff like that,
Yeah, anymore we kind of specialize in old vehicles, old cars and trucks and stuff like that. So we really haven't been pushing the envelope on anything new. Most of our new stuff has been lifted or very simple for like SEMA and junk like that. But it's honestly, it's just we stick to the old stuff. So I don't know. I call it easier because I don't have a wiring headache every week or computer problems and all that fun stuff. But yeah.
So if somebody
yes
goes
and no, because like I said, we're kind of repetition anymore. Unfortunately, we're doing a lot of our kits and a lot of rust repair and old car shit. So
yeah, okay, that's fucking tight, man. Hell yeah, got to keep the old ones going.
Absolutely.
They coming out with those kindergarten, the kindergarten box, Cybertruck, whatever,
I hate
which
those
will be
things.
probably at SEMA this year.
Yeah,
you'll
I'm
see
sure this year there'll be a ton of them.
Oh yeah, you'll see polished ones. You'll see non-polished. You probably see I'm waiting for one to sit 3-wheel.
They can scrap all of them as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So see, that's a good answer to the next question to both of you guys. Since he already said that, Eric, what's your thought about that? With how
I hate that. I hate that truck.
Yeah.
I post it all the time on my Facebook, like just because it gets a lot of engagement on it because everybody hates it so much. But I always post pictures of like wrapped Cybertrucks and stuff on my Facebook just because it stirs the comments. People people
I
get.
post them caught on fire and
Hell yeah.
dumpster.
Yeah, I always post them like next to dumpsters and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
people hate that truck. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, dude. Because but I'm telling you, one day someone's gonna come up to you guys and go, "Hey, I need you to bag my Cybertruck."
I'll tell them that they're in the
They're
wrong
gonna,
place.
they're gonna be like, I would be like, I
Sorry
don't
about
do
your
it.
luck.
It's gonna cost you another 100K.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
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 It's gonna
I'm
happen.
not a big
Like,
electric car fan. I'm not a big put electric motors in old cars. I'm
No.
not any of that kind of stuff. I mean, I do some radical stuff, but
Yeah.
I just don't feel like that's what
So
those cars should look like and be like in the end of the day. You know what I mean?
okay. So what do you feel about when they're doing body swaps? When they're putting
I-
old
I
on like on a Beamer or whatever, like the Crown Vic that they do on a
Yeah.
lot of on a unibodies and
I don't like them. I think they're hack jobs. I don't like the way they're put back together. I don't think it's very quality whatsoever. I haven't seen one that I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. You know?
Yeah.
I like the idea of it, but like I don't know if you ever saw that '59 Buick that we did, the 4-door.
oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That was fun. Oh, that's
So that was
which
we
one?
started with a Cadillac Fleetwood. Oh, I don't even know, '90s, right? So basically, the whole chassis is an Impala frame. Basically, is what it is, and it has the LS or LT, the LT motor in it. Sorry, not the LS, and that frame actually fit under that car really well. Now we didn't cut the whole interior out of each and then put them together.
Yeah, you just
We
kinda,
literally just used the frame and the drivetrain and then put the body on top of it.
oh wow.
And you'd be surprised on how well, like, where the frame curves and all the other spots, the frame actually fit in there really nice.
Jeremy.
We body dropped it, so we did end up putting a little bit, more cutting into the body than normal and necessary. But when it comes to Crown Vics and those F100s, when I come by them, I'm like, I see the truck and I'm like, oh, sweet, an F100, that's cool. And then I start looking at it, I'm like, why are the wheels so flat? Why is this? Why is that? Why does the
And then
interior
you
look
look
like
in it
shit?
and it's a Lincoln inside.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, I don't know. I mean, to each their own. If they like that and that's what they want to do, more power to them. But you won't see this cat doing that. That's for sure.
All right. Yeah. What about you, Eric? What do you think about the body swap stuff that people are doing? Since I know you got a C10.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I feel the same way. Like, your money, your build, do however you want. Like, my truck is a full frame off build, and I wasn't planning on doing that. It just kind of happened that way. But
That's how it works.
yeah, like I bought a junkyard C10 and got with Justin, and then before we know it, 2.5 years later, we're like into a full on frame off build on
Oh
it.
wow. Oh, it just
But
pretty much
I
more.
love it. Like, yeah, I mean, it took them a year just to build the frame for the thing. So we've been just displaying it at Mini Nats for the last 2 years, and then yeah, it should be like fully done
That's
by
tight.
by Attitude Check.
That's fucking nice, man.
So
And
we'll
that's
see.
and that's like when it comes off the full frame build. Since I know you got yours done, and Jeff, you do them to the older vehicles. Is there anything that like with the technology we got and we're building, like you're straight out, hey, I build a mold, that's it. I do them from here to here and that's it. And then do you think that we're going to be able to keep doing that, or do you think it's going to be like a lost art towards the end because how a lot of the kids are building newer vehicles and whatnot?
I think it'll stick. If you look at the evolution of mini trucks and C10s and Cadillacs and all that stuff, it all started, just throwing some bags in it and driving the shit out of it, or back. I'm gonna date myself a little bit here. Back in my day, we heated and cut the coils as small as we could get them to drive them as low as we can get them without totally messing up everything, which we did anyway. But
Yeah,
and
that's how my dad
evolution.
that's how my
Evolution.
dad did it, so.
I mean, now if you're going to build a mini truck and take it and try to get a first place trophy or kick somebody's ass in a show, you got to bring your A game, because you're not just going to throw some bags in it and some wheels on it and
Oh,
call
no.
it good. You know what I mean? Everybody now is elevated and elevated and elevated. So I think in the future, yeah, frames are
I like
safe.
how you let me.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If like Eric, you bought your truck, if somebody already had a chassis all done for you and you just dropped it on there, I mean, there you got a dope truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it's patina style or rat rod or whatever the hell you want to call it. Actually, I just drove a Lincoln home tonight putting some miles on it, and the customer did everything but paint. But we did go around and give it that patina look and the wipe on clear and all that crap, you know, and it looks really good. But that's the style the guy's going to go with because until he can save up his pennies to throw some real paint on it, you know. So,
Yeah.
but
Well,
again, evolution. So that guy's going to go from here and then bring it up a notch, and then when the paint's done, the car will be sick, you know.
yeah,
So
it's just crazy when you say patina. Okay, I can't stand the fake patina. I can't.
real
Like for
patina,
me,
fake patina. I mean, there's all kinds of good
like
stuff.
for me, if you saw my yard art in the back and I drove it to a show, and I used to drive to shows and it'd be dirty, you know, and I'd wipe it down, but you know, it would be covered in oil from an oil leak.
Covered in oil, all
Yeah.
over the tailgate,
Yeah.
the fenders.
You know, and it had dents and you know the roll pan was fucking falling off and I welded it back to get like, and people like, oh, and they're like, dude, just I'm like, no, I go, that's real patina. I go, I drive it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I drive it every
drive
day.
it, drag it.
Yeah,
You know?
we did that Apache for Jason
Yeah.
that was in the fire, and that thing turned out really cool. That's probably the most radical patina truck I've ever done. When it was on the fire, it literally the cab just like melted, like the doors
shit.
changed shape, and like the body and the bed had real round like this. So we had to try to hammer it straight-ish to get it to work. You know what I mean? And then we had to try to match all the like the taillight bezels with the headlight bezels because it got hotter in one area than the other. So the one was green, one was chrome. Like we had a lot of
But that
basically
thing
fucking
came
shit
out
up.
sick. That thing came out
Yeah.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah, that truck was a rad truck, you know. And it had roadster shop chassis under it, so that's kind of what I was talking about before, man. He's just got basically a rusty truck he threw on a petita frame, and man, it was sick, you know.
That's it. And that's what's crazy because when you see that, like how Eric has his truck and you got your cars, a lot of people don't realize that some cars will be at a show and they'll be like, oh, I can't believe that won. And you're like, well, have you gone to look at it? You know, have you seen that they changed out this? They did that. They modified
Have you
this.
followed the build?
Yeah. Or have you,
Online.
Or have you followed the build? Like right now I'm following Mark's build, Zarate.
Or Wes?
Yeah.
And Wes's build right now with a Volkswagen van that he's doing, you know. But Zarate is the one that I've been following because it's like to see I'm gonna call it Taco 2. I will call it Taco 2 because the look of it is just
Yeah.
you look at it and you're like, damn, you're like, holy shit, you know. And then when
Yep.
you see the way he did the whole frame, it's like how you said, they're taking it to a different level.
Yeah.
You know, and when Mark did that video and he's beating the shit out of the fucking the lip underneath the rocker on the bottom and he's beating it with a hammer and people are just giving him so much shit and everyone's just like, fuck yeah, dude, that's the way you do it, you know. Like,
Yeah.
And it's just the rest of that build has just been crazy. And
I don't-
and it is true.
I don't go to a lot of shows anymore, but you know, when I do shows, I always like to see the stuff that's coming up and under construction and being built. You know, unfortunately, I've drugged like more of the trucks and cars that I can count to a show that doesn't run or drive or not have an engine just because we did chassis work or whatever, suicide doors, and it was a pain in the ass to get there. But that's the kind of stuff that I like to see before they put miles of Bondo and paint on it, before they, you know, kind of hide all the cool stuff
Yeah,
underneath.
yeah.
In my opinion, I like the mechanical shit.
Yep.
It's
That's how I
just
showed my
really-
truck for the last 2 years was just the frame. And we did it that way because Justin is now doing like how Acme and Roadster and all them are doing as far as like building and selling the frames to people and
Yeah.
stuff. So we displayed it twice at mini nats. Basically just the frame, truck wasn't
That's
running. The
fucking
body wasn't
tight,
even on
man.
it the first year, but
That's badass when you can do that because you're showing the process of it, you know. And then some people are like, why just, I'm like, no, like, dude, look at what they fucking put. Look at the motor. Look at the way they stretch
Yep.
something. Or
it was cool just the conversations that I had with people. Like at mini nats this year, I had so many people come to me this year and they're like, man, I remember this truck last year. It was just billets and a raw frame on it. It's cool to see it come this way. And then I saw some people in Atlanta that were like, oh man, this is so much more than we just saw it at mini nats. And there's people that have followed this truck the entire last 2.5 years with it. And
That's the thing, man. When you
That's
follow,
awesome. That's the way it is supposed to be.
It's really cool. Like, and you get to like, I feel like it's more personal to you too, like because you've been showing it at all these different levels. Everybody has seen it. You have a good connection with the truck. Personally, now, like the first thing I go look at on a truck that catches my eye is I go look under it and look at the frame because I want to know if it's a frame off build. And then seeing that frame off down there, like I know the work that has gone into that truck and the money that's gone into that truck after going through it myself. And I'm like, that ain't a cheap truck when you're sitting on a Fat Fabs frame or something like that.
A lot of people don't realize that. You know, a lot of people don't realize. you know, what people are spending on the build. You know, they're like, oh, I'm like, I have 2 Mazdas.
Yeah,
You know, and
it
it's
gets,
like
it
when you
gets
got when
pricey.
people, oh, they're like, yeah, they're
Yeah.
cheap. They're right now online, they're going for like a buco bucks. And it's just like,
Yep.
no, like it's unheard of when you see prices of vehicles that back when I was in my day, you know, you can get them for a couple $100,
Yeah,
you
oh,
know,
yeah. Yeah.
running.
Mhm.
You know, it
Crazy.
looked like a yard worker's truck. It looked like my
Yeah, the-
Theo's truck, you know, beat the shit, you know, half painted, missing a couple lug nuts, you know,
The
static
500
shop,
to
but yeah.
the $500 to $1,500 truck is now $7,500 to a 10
Yeah.
grand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Which is
easily. And if you're
crazy.
like building a frame off truck, like full on SEMA show quality type truck,
Yeah.
like be ready to spend 150K
Oh, yeah.
plus on it.
It's crazy because
Easy.
I seen a '63 Impala, $7,500 running. The
Mhm.
frame is done running, but you literally just get a running roller.
Yeah.
No dash, no extra parts, no nothing. Just, but it looks sick. I was like, and the dude was like looking for a daily driver or payout, and I was like, real quick, I was like, hey dude, I got a sport track with cold AC. I'm like, hey, dude, hey, it sounds funny to people, but I'm telling you, some people would be like, okay, if they really like, you know, if they really need a daily that they, you know, you'll get. There's trades that happen like that.
Yep.
You know, that's how I got
Yep.
my yard art. I traded
Yeah.
a van.
Yeah. I love
traded
trading.
the tan
I have
truck.
like 30 cars. Most of them are rotten and ugly and rusty and shitty, but I love them.
Yeah.
I can't do that because I move every 3 years and the HOA won't allow it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I keep one show vehicle at a time and I just sell them every time.
Damn, dude. I got a homie of mine who does that. Sometimes he'll get a truck that's, you know, like a show truck or used to be a show truck and then like take it apart. And then, you know, and then all of a sudden it just stays apart. Yeah. And then he winds up just like, I'll just sell it. And then he sells it. And then it winds up somebody else gets it and then they finish it. And it's like, okay. Yeah, that's some
I do
trucks.
the same thing. I get bored. And I see something else I like. I'm like, I haven't had one of those yet. Let's
Yeah.
trade or whatever. You
Yeah.
know.
Like I saw a Tahoe on Marketplace that some dude's selling. Oh man. And this dude's just like, yeah, I'm bored. I don't want, you know, I lost interest in it. I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, fuck. You know,
Well, when
you know,
yeah, when you do it every day too, like I spend more hours in the shop than I spend with my kids or my girl or anybody like that, my family, you know, like so when you get done at a 8-10 hour day on an easy day, you're like you don't feel like crawling underneath your car and working on it. And plus you have all the good stuff tied up and it's almost like a weekend love passion type thing, you know, you go in and tune it up and do that kind of stuff. So
yeah. You know,
I
go
do
out
have some news for you guys though. We've been working on for a while now, and we're getting ready to release probably next year, maybe. I've been sitting on it for a year, so at least
there. Yeah.
we designed our own C10 chassis as well, and we're getting ready to
Oh,
break
shit.
out on them.
Nice.
Right now, we're doing some Cadillac stuff. We're doing billet upper and lower arms and billet rear link that'll lay 22s. I mean, it's going to be pretty
Damn.
sick. It's 60s Cadillac stuff. I have a
60s.
lot of stuff in the pipe waiting to come out, like
Oh shit.
because I don't
There
have
you
enough
go,
time in
dude.
a day to market everything and do everything, and you just kind of try to pick what's going to be the best for you. You know what I mean? So, a couple years ago, we bought a laser, and we have a tube laser and all that stuff. So
Nice.
we're getting ready to start crank on some of that stuff. So that'll be a
Hell
fun
yeah,
journey.
man.
That's what I've always loved is doing
Fuck yeah.
framework. You know, I hate finishing cars. It's
Ah,
so tedious and takes forever, and you know, like it's all right, but I'd rather do the roughing in and the welding and the grinding and the cutting
yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah. And it's cool
So
though because you're building stuff for someone who's like, all right, hey, maybe I'm gonna go find me that barnyard rusty thing out in the middle of North
yeah,
Carolina somewhere in a field. You know?
let them paint it and put it back together and chrome shit and worry about scratching it. You know, that's my kind of opinion on it. I mean, we still do that, but in my personal stuff,
Yeah.
that's what I like. So
That's so tight though, man. When having to bring products out like that to you know to people that are like probably looking for that. I know you're probably gonna get a bunch of lowrider dudes hitting you up because they always got some of those bombas and some of
yeah.
those sick ass cars, you know. So it's like, so Eric, for you out there in North Carolina, how is the scene out there?
North Carolina is good. Virginia, horrible. So like I live like right on the Virginia Beach North Carolina border. So I live in North Carolina, but I work in Virginia. It's kind of weird.
Crazy.
But I lived in Wilmington, North Carolina for many years. But I love the scene in North Carolina because you got a lot of good shows. Like you have like some really big C10 shows that are out here. You've got mini nouts out here. There's always shows going on. Granted, they're all like like Raleigh, Charlotte, or west out to Maggie Valley.
How far are you from Maggie Valley?
It takes me, like, without a trailer, like 7 hours. If I'm trailering a truck out there, like usually about 8 or 9, depending on what it is. Which that's still not bad, like, because I'll drive it down in one day, and then I'm all the way up on the coastline by the Outer Banks, which there's no scene out here for that. It's all JDM stance cars and Mopar takeovers out here. Like that's the scene that exists out here. There's no mini truck scene out here. There's no lifted truck scene, anything like that. So that's why I'm always in Tennessee. I'm always in Georgia. I'm always in North Carolina, going to all these shows. So, like I'm traveling to all of them, which it sucks. And it does get very expensive doing that, like every two or 3 weeks out of the month or whatever, which is why I got into like social media influencing and creating my own brand and all that stuff, because now I can attend all those events for free, essentially, to like get cool content, meet people, see all the cool trucks and everything, bring my own trucks to the shows, let people see the brand and stuff. So I found a way to monetize a hobby, essentially. That way I could maximize the amount of shows that I was able to go to every year, which is also why I'm trying to stay local in the Carolinas for my move next year, so I can stay like hub centric to Tennessee, because since I spent most of my time in Nashville, honestly, for shows.
Okay,
but
that's not bad though. At least there's somewhat of scene out in that area. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like there's just nothing out here. Like I mean, you have like Attitude
North
Check.
Carolina, it's very big because that's cool when you can drive 7 hours, and we have to drive like 2-3 days to get to mini nets. Like a week.
No,
It's a week. Yeah, it takes us a week to get out.
But that's why, like, I don't go to Texas shows anymore.
We haven't made the trip yet, but someday we'll plan.
It's worth it. Like everybody's trying to talk me into going out west and going to Dino's, and they're like, "Man, next year,
you got to go to Dino's. Dino's is just.
I might do it. Like I might just suck it up and take some time off and go be a vendor out there for it next year. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
So a person that goes, like, I take vacation time off. I take Friday off. I take Saturday off. Like, no, like, anything going on. I don't care what you have going on. Last year I blew off a wedding. No, Dino's is like the shit.
That'd be the only show I would travel that. That's the only show I would travel that far to. Like I turn down
and he turns away people sometimes because it gets very, very like packed, man.
No, last year the way he had it set up was actually really, really good, because he had it so on the west side of this Cardinal Stadium, that's where the show was, that's where the vendors were, all that fun stuff. Vendors do their thing like a day before, they set up, do their thing, and then the day of the show, from what I heard from security is people started showing up at 4:30 in the morning, and they have them staged pretty much in rows throughout the whole on the east side of the stadium, and then they let the row in, get them parked, and then they let another row in, and then they just keep funneling you through that way, so that way you're not blocking traffic and stuff like that. It was way more organized this go around. Way more.
I'll do it 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, every year Dino gets bigger. Every year. I think this past year, he was at 7,500 trucks.
Dino just needs to just ask the fucking people at the stadium, be like, "Can I just rent out the stadium like the lowrider guys do?"
Right.
That's all he's got to like. That's the next thing left.
I'm betting 3 more years.
3 more years.
Dino's gonna have the stadium.
He should just start doing that now.
Yeah,
like,
no joke.
Yeah.
Jeff, have you came out to Dino's before? Jeff?
No, I haven't. I was gonna go this last year and I didn't make it.
No.
But I do want to do it.
Yeah, you got
also.
to. You got to, dude. It's badass.
You guys show up.
Even just flying out as a spectator, I think would be worth it. Like if I can't make it as a vendor for vacation reasons or whatever, like I'm gonna book a flight.
Hey, just hit when it was it if you guys ever come down, hit me or Chris up and fucking
absolutely.
I try to take my truck every year. This last year was the first year I took my truck, and then this year will be the second year I take my truck.
So
it seems like I never have anything finished. So like, I'm like, I got 3 weeks. Can I put this together? And I'm like, man,
that's how everybody is.
That's everyone.
You ain't 20 years old anymore, dog.
I wish we had something that size on the East Coast, but we don't. I mean, we got some big shows like 2,000 plus trucks out here.
Yeah.
at some of these events and stuff,
Yeah.
but nothing the
That's
size of
it's crazy though when you see it, like when you look at it and it's just all fucking Chevys everywhere, dude. Different makes, models,
It's
years.
It's
Pretty
funny.
awesome.
It
Yeah.
started at his birthday party.
Yeah,
That's how.
Yeah,
it all
that's-
started.
yeah, it was his
just a
birthday party. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it went from
Yeah.
his birthday party at his place, and then it just
The city shut it down,
Boom.
or the city shut
because it kept getting bigger
it
every
kept
year,
getting bigger. So his block got shut down,
and
the
you couldn't
neighbors were
park. Yeah,
complaining,
like it was
and then he moved it to his shop.
McGuire trucks this year. Hopefully, I'll be
Yeah.
he
nice.
moved it
Oh
to
yeah,
his
dude.
shop at,
Y'all have good shows out there. Like there's a lot of good ones in Southern Cali. I mean, you got C10 Nats in Utah. Like that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll be at C10 Nats in October down in Nashville. That'll be a good time. We'll roll out there for that.
Right.
I have a Suburban, like a OBS style Suburban. It's a one that I built a long time ago for a customer. I pick these up all the time, by the way. And my buddy in Wisconsin is doing some work on it to make it more roadworthy, and we're putting LS in it and that kind of stuff. We built the whole frame on it and then sent it back to a guy back in Indiana. So I'm hoping this year that truck is ready to put
To
some
be-
miles on, because I got a bunch of friends in Wisconsin too. So I just want to fly in, jump in it, and roll with all of them to the
There you
shows.
go, dude.
I'm a big driver. I mean, I have trailers. I have all kinds of trailers and shit like that. But
You like to
I
drive
when,
it.
when it comes from my own personal stuff, and that's why I
Yeah.
haven't done Dino's yet, because I want to drive one of my shit boxes there. I don't care if it's
Hey.
shiny or not.
the shit box.
You know?
The shit boxes will get you
That's-
there though.
Hey, but you
Yeah.
know, people go, "You really trust?" Yes, I trust my shit box over anything. I drive that bitch.
It'll be the shit box that gets you there before some frame off truck does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
well, I drove my truck to Cruise to the Pines one time, my tan truck, and I didn't know that I was driving on a bent control arm and a cracked frame on the driver's side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it kept lifting all weird, and I just drove like nothing. Came back
He
and
drove
then,
it the whole way to Prescott and the whole way home.
like nothing,
Damn.
and hitting switches and fucking around with it and everything. And then when I got home, it was like,
Oh,
now,
shit.
what the fuck? And then I jack it up, and the whole bag on the top, like kind of cracked and peeled up with the bracket attached to
Yeah.
it. So it kind of like peeled itself up in a weird shape. And yeah, the control arm was bent to shit. And I was like, all right, here we
Yep.
go.
That's what
That's
most
part of
couple
the
years
that's part of the
ago,
journey though. Having shit break on you, like going to shows and fixing it and having all your.
I think
homies-
that's awesome, because I mean that's the challenge right there. That shows your talent more than anything, in my opinion. A couple years ago, me and my girl flew back to Wisconsin. We bought a '59 Cadillac 4-door, no AC, in August, and we drove the bitch.
Oh my god, dude,
We drove the bitch all the way back to California, and everybody's like, "You are crazy." And we went to we actually did the 30th NC show in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, and
Shout
so
out to
and
Mexican
then
Camp.
that was kind of our midpoint, and we stopped there, and then we partied all fucking weekend, and then we drove the
Nice.
rest of the way home, which crossing through Phoenix and all that, and 100 I
Hell
don't
yeah.
know, oh my god, temperatures.
Yeah.
But we made it, and it was fun. We only had a few small problems. We actually got stuck in Winslow, Arizona.
What about that? Oh, you got stuck in Winslow?
Yeah,
On
yeah.
accident?
My alternator went out and the starter went out at the same time. So
Yeah.
we found the
shit.
last place that we could rent. Every hotel was booked. We found an Airbnb. The lady was super nice at a carport. The next day it was in walking distance to the auto parts store. So I didn't have a jack with me, so we just pulled it up on one 2x4 and I squeezed my fat ass underneath there and changed the
Holy
starter out.
shit.
But other than that, we had a really good trip, so
Yeah.
But see, that's what it's about. It's like,
I think that's what it's
the
about,
memories.
also.
You're
It's all
making the
about
memories.
making memories.
Because then you guys can sit there and laugh about it in the same car with AC
Yeah.
and be like, remember when we drove this
Yep.
with no AC?
You got to figure it out. Yeah.
Everybody has their phones.
It's
you
dope
know.
to see how many people will stop and help too. Like nowadays, I see it every show. People are
Yep.
on Facebook and Instagram. Hey, I'm broke down on this highway, and the amount of people that will come to aid somebody, like just from the scene, like, hey, I'll turn around, I'll drive 3 hours and throw your shit on a trailer, or come help
Yep.
you fix it,
Yeah.
or swap vehicles
And that's
out, or
crazy
whatever.
because
Yes.
here, when everybody goes in a convoy to the shows around here, if somebody breaks down, there's a handful that pulls over.
There's a handful of different
it's
club
always-
members that will
Yeah.
stop and actually, hey, you need something,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
I've got this tool. We've got,
Somebody's got
this
an
other truck's got
airline
this
and-
one. I've got
Yeah.
parts for this, I got wires. I got, everybody's got a whole slew of different things that they use on their trucks, but will help everybody else kind of get back on the road. Like, cool, let's get a Band-Aid on this. Let's get to the part we got to go, and let's assess it when we get there.
Yep.
But that's what it is. It's always about memories. All right, guys. So, Eric, you're not in the club.
Not
Jeff,
anymore.
you're Mr. Negative Camber, Mr. NC.
Yeah.
We have Garrett on. So, Eric, when you were in your club, Team Billet, and you walked away and whatever, everything, like, how do you feel now not being in the club?
I like it because I was so it's both. Like, I mean, I loved being in a club because obviously I was always around like all my homies at shows and all that. So I always thought like that's what a club was for, and it was cool. It does have its perks, like with being at shows and events and stuff like that. It is fun, but like being a chapter president like I was and running 3 different states, like it took a lot of time, and I have so much going on with my own events and apparel and all the social media stuff that I do. I just didn't really have time for it anymore. So I didn't walk away with like bad blood or anything like that. It was just more of a time issue. Like I don't have the time for this right now. I'm going to step back and reevaluate like in a year. And then a year passed and I was like, well, I'm kind of having fun now, like without a club. I'm still hanging out with the same dudes, chugging beers with them at shows and all that. And I made more friends because now I'm not confined to that one club space that I'm at every show. And I'm hanging out with dudes from RA, dudes from Freaks, dudes from Sever, dudes from Billet, like depending on what show I'm at. And I can park wherever the hell I want, party with whoever I want. And I like it because it gives me freedom to, I don't have mandatory shows I've got to attend like I had in Billet and stuff. Like I can do whatever I want.
Do you think
so? It's like being a Negative Camber.
See, so there you go.
I'm always parked next to the NC guys at mini nats and stuff. My truck's always with the RA guys.
But remember, some clubs, yeah, it's cool, but then some clubs will headhunt at the same time. Like they'll see that you're not in the club, and they're like, all right, let's bring them around and let's see. And
I've been asked a few times, like in the last year, like go hang out with us. I'm like, I'll hang out and funnel beers with you guys, but like I'm not interested in the club. If I would join a club again, but it wouldn't be like if somebody asked me to. It would be probably me hanging out with them for 2 or 3 years, and then one day it just like kind of happens. Like that'd be the only way I'd do it again.
You hear that, Jeff? Do you hear that?
Yeah.
it wouldn't be planned.
I'm one of the chapter reps for Negative Camber in SoCal.
There you go.
I can be honest with you guys. I don't put up with any shit because nobody calls me and bitches because they'll know what I'll tell them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Definitely. And
I don't
you
have time for drama.
How long have you been in Negative Camber?
Oh man.
You're like OG status with Big D. I know that, right?
Probably 28, 30 years, somewhere in there.
Oof. Yeah, that's
29 years. Yeah.
Yeah, they
I can't remember. It's been a long time.
A long time. He saw the evolution of mini trucks.
That's awesome.
He was a part of the evolution of mini trucks, of how it.
I grew up in South Dakota, in Rapid City, South Dakota. So there's no mini trucks there. I kind of started the scene there, and I probably killed the scene when I left. I mean, I still have a few friends out there that have trucks and stuff. But
you were the scene. You were the scene.
Yeah. So when I moved to SoCal, and I actually got Negative Camber before I moved down, so that was pretty cool. We're real tight with pretty much all the clubs, Relaxed Atmosphere and Severed Ties, and all those guys. Brett's a really good friend of mine. We work together every day, so that's cool. We kind of look at things differently now that we're old. We don't really get into too much shit. You know what I mean? Like we used to.
Yeah, it's way different now. A lot of people be like, "Oh no," I'm like, "No," I'm like,
yeah. A couple years ago, I had some heart problems, and then I stopped drinking, and my life has changed drastically after the heart shit. I had heart surgery about 4 or 5 months ago, and we're not getting not getting younger. You know what I'm saying? So like people my age or thereabouts, I always tell them, man, start paying attention to yourself because we've lost quite a few good people lately that are around my age, and I'm like, I'm trying to tell you motherfuckers, wake the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like
we lost way too many.
I feel like I see it almost like every week now on social media. Like rest in peace, so and so.
Because when you see it, and you're just like, holy fuck,
you never know when it's your day.
So I'm telling all you guys out there listening, fucking pay attention to your body, pay attention to your health. You know what I mean? This comes from a guy that I could drink a handle of Jameson in a day. But like I partied. Like I partied a lot.
I can agree. I can attest to that because I've heard stories. I've lived with Big D for 2 years. I'm trying to bring him on too. His schedule is a little hectic lately.
Yeah. So again, just take care of yourself, man. I don't want any more T-shirts with my friends that are passed away on
It
them.
sucks, dude. Like you,
I don't
like
want to miss anybody. You know, like
it,
it
it
sucks. You know.
that's why I like, like I don't get to see a lot of people at a lot of shows, but with the podcast, I at least get to interact with a lot of the people that I've known throughout the years, and then people that I'm meeting, now and getting to know people and be like, hey, this is a platform to just make sure to show everybody, hey, the scene's out there from here to
Mhm.
there, from everywhere.
No, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's way everywhere.
I
And it's crazy.
I agree with that 100%. I recently bought a project off of a customer again.
No, no.
It keeps on happening. It's a 2001 Chevy Extra Cab that I body dropped on 20s in 2003.
In
Jeez.
2003.
Yeah,
Picture. I was ahead of its time at that time.
yeah. At that point, my shop was only 3 years old, so I was somewhat of an amateur. I was a real amateur. I ain't gonna lie. Because if you look
Oh.
at some of it, the welds are okay. They're not great, but they're not what we do today at
Yeah,
today's
it's way different. Yeah.
pace. And the back half that I did on this truck is pretty crazy, especially for the time. So I've been just enjoy driving it a little bit. I'm gonna do some tuning up on it because I want to take that to more shows and go. I mean, I want to go out to North
Oh, yeah.
Carolina and visit Eric
Oh,
and
you never
just
know.
roll it. You know what I mean? I think that's what it's all about. It needs to get back to that. Leave your fucking trailer at home and get in your goddamn car and let's roll. And if
There
you
we
have a
go.
blowout, we'll
There
get a
we
tire.
go.
If you fuck something up, we'll fix it. You know what I mean? I
All
mean,
right. Hell yeah.
That's
so
what I
there's a
want to do.
will,
I
there's a
want to
way,
drive.
you
I
know?
want to drive my truck when it gets finished. I trailer it right now because I can't find rear tires for it because they're 405s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard tire right there.
Yeah,
All right,
because
guys, we're gonna.
Pirelli's not making them. I can't find them anywhere. Like just to find my set for my
You'll
rears,
find
I
them.
had to get them
Like,
on
trust
eBay.
me, somebody out here listening is gonna tell you got tires. We're gonna
Yeah,
take
if
a
you got
quick
a set
break.
if you have a set of 405s and you're not price gouging them and you want to get rid of them,
There you go. You heard it,
DM
guys.
me on
Right now.
Instagram because I need a set so I can have.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll see you guys in a minute. And then,
Cool.
All right.
Jeff Davey, I need to ask you something about Devious Wheel Co. So we're gonna
Ooh.
break at that. All right, we'll come
All
back
right.
in a few. All right, guys, we're back. All right, don't worry, Eric. I know you. I want to thank you, Eric. Because you're staying up, and you got to be at work in a few hours.
No, this fool
You're
got
good.
up early.
I know he got up early.
Yeah, right now my shift. I get up at 3 a.m. So I'm working 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. because we have 12-hour shifts. But I've been
Oh,
on
wow.
the last couple of days, and in between those shifts is when I like come home, make all the orders for either like Etsy shops that I run or for my apparel brand shop, shipping out
Yeah.
orders for that or whatever I have
You're
going
pulling
on.
a fucking all night.
Eric, what do you do for a living?
I'm an officer in the military.
Oh, right on.
Thank you for your
My
service.
my son is stationed in Virginia Beach as well.
Okay, yeah, that's where that's where I'm stationed at. I live south there, but yeah, I got 21 years in so far. I'm gonna retire in the next 3. Call it good.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
hard,
awesome.
like when you're full-time military and then like you own side businesses on the side. You're moving every 3 years. Plus, I'm in grad school right now too as a full-time student, getting my MBA. So it's like I'm lucky if I sleep 3 or 4 hours a night, and
Damn,
just
dude.
the tempo that I
That's
operate
awesome.
on is wild right now, just to try and get to the finish line and
Yeah.
be
That
done with
there
it.
is the definition of hustler.
Yeah.
Yes,
So like
it
when I go to shows, like a lot of people are always like, "Oh, come out and party. We're going out to Broadway, like
Yeah.
down in Nashville or whatever." And I'm like, I'm going back to the hotel because I'm gonna get more sleep tonight than I've gotten in the last month
Yeah.
at my own house. So it's like I use those as vacations to catch up on
That's
sleep.
awesome.
His vacations is his sleep time.
Right.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing your shirts and whatnot? Was it something you just hey, I'm doing shirts?
2
or-
years, 2 years for the apparel brand. So like when I lived in like Southern California years ago, like I was always into Harleys. Like I rode Harleys, rode with MCs and all that stuff. And like that was always my scene on the left coast. And then I had went to Texas after that, and that's when I had gotten into trucks, but it was the lifted scene at that point. I was heavy into like the SEMA lifted scene and all that. And I ran with that for a couple years. I really enjoyed it for the first amount of time that I was in it. And then it got to the point where everything just started looking the same. It was all cookie cutter stuff. You see the same trucks, the same people.
Same
There's
LSs.
a lot of drama in that scene and stuff. And it's just a very younger crowd. I'll be 40 this year. So it's like a lot of those
Hey,
people-
welcome to the club. I'm 40. Yeah, welcome to the club. It's gonna take.
Yeah.
you a
So
little
then
bit
like
longer
I always
to
wanted a
get-
bagged truck, and I knew like older scene, more mature scene, like that was the route that I was going anyways.
Mhm.
So when I got with Justin and said, hey, let's build this C10, I really started hitting all the mini shows and C10 shows these last couple of years. And I definitely found that I enjoy that a lot more, just with like quality of people and the types of people that are in that scene, the types of builds. And it's not all about money. You can park a $5,000 truck next to a $200,000 truck, and they both get just as much love and attention. Both of the owners are all super cool. They all each have their own unique stories to it, and it's not about clout or money, and no one cares. And I really like that about the scene. But so I've always kind of swapped. And like before Harleys, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, my whole life, and I was always into like imports, going to Nopi and all that stuff. So I've always been around a custom scene of some time. My dad's a old school hot rodder and stuff, so I grew up around hot rods.
So
my
you
whole
were
life.
already, you were
Yeah,
already
so-
tinkering with stuff.
Yeah, I've tried all the different scenes, and I like doing different stuff. After the C10, I'm gonna go do a classic car. I really want to do like a 66 DeVille or something like that.
Trust me,
so
dude. I'm ready to get a classic at the same time now.
yeah,
Mhm.
they're fun, but like
Yeah,
I kind
I
of
know.
bounce around with it. But like as far as like apparel and stuff, I actually started the brand with a good buddy of mine who is heavy into the JDM stance scene, and those are all the shows he goes to. And so initially we were doing it for cars because we were at car shows all the time, and it was really hard for me to juggle both because I was always at car shows as a vendor, but I always had trucks, and I was going to all these truck shows. And so it was really hard for me to juggle both. So him and I split on good terms. He went and did his own thing in the car scene, stayed in there because he's not a truck guy. I'm not really a car guy, and my whole follower base was trucks. And I was like, well, if I'm taking my trucks to all these shows, I might as well be a vendor at them and sell the lifestyle that I'm in, because that's what I'm passionate about. So I rebranded it at the beginning of the year to strictly like mini trucks and classic truck stuff. And it's been awesome. Like the amount of support that I've gotten this year on the brand and just at shows has been
Hell yeah.
phenomenal.
Let's see
So
that.
if you're watching and you've bought something from my website or from me, I really appreciate it. I don't
check
pay
out the
myself
sweater?
from the brand at all. So it's
The sweater that you got on, wait, let me check it out. Sweater. That's fucking sick.
got a whole
Make
bunch of
America
them.
bagged again.
That's cool.
It's fun. I got some really cool designs coming out this year. I've been working with like Graphic Disorder and stuff on the side, so they're working on some stuff for me right now. It's like full on design shirts and stuff. Those will be released. Those will be released in October is when I'll start releasing like our first
Hell yeah.
designs like that. But we'll be heavy. We're at a lot of shows this year coming up, like Attitude Check, Dropped Out, C10 Revival. I'll be down at C10 Nationals. And then I've already started booking vendor spots for 2025. So
Yeah, Mike. Calm it down there, Poncho. He might. We're not. If he wants to send us some apparel, he can.
Where can we get your
Oh,
apparel?
I thought he was trying to be like, damn.
Go, yeah, you can go to our you can go to our website.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Rollin ROLLIN Reckless RECKLEZZ.co. Bunch of dope shit on there. So I
Awesome.
appreciate
Hey,
it.
Leah.
Oh, there's
Fucking
Leah.
Leah.
Hi,
Leah was just texting me when you guys were talking, and she's like,
Oh, no.
what's Jeff doing?
Leah, what's up?
Actually, this room behind me is actually
Yeah.
Leah's bedroom.
Yeah,
Damn.
Leah's awesome. I had fun
Oh,
with her.
nice.
at
Because
mini
it's
mats.
it's almost 9 o'clock.
Oh,
It's almost
I
9
did.
o'clock.
I know.
Yeah, it's
I know.
almost 9.
Don't worry.
Leah's dope. She
Order
designed some
from
cool
you.
stuff too. So
Yeah.
I like all.
Yeah,
stuff
she's
she
one of
does.
my best friends. We've been friends a
Yeah.
long time, and she comes out here, stays about a week at a time. Now that she's got a boyfriend, lives in Salt Lake. So even though I like him a lot. Don't get
He's
me wrong.
cool,
I
too.
just miss Leah. She's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Leah's a fucking awesome person.
She made the
man.
hike all the way to Mini Nats this year. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
she was
she did.
driving.
Yeah,
By
by
herself.
herself, dude. By
Crazy.
herself. Yeah.
She's a
Yeah,
trooper.
and then her and her man are starting their own metal flake company.
Mhm.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
displayed. They did a
Teaser.
teaser for us on when I had her on. So
He's
yeah.
building a bunch of bikes for Sturgis right now too, which is
Yep.
really cool. So that's
Oh, yeah.
that's awesome.
Sturgis
And
is
that's
fun.
crazy because a lot of people don't realize that like many truckers, we grew up on mini bikes and bicycles and
Yep.
fucking, I had a couple homies who had a mini bike, and then my nephew bought a mini bike, and so it's like we all hope to be like, oh shit, one day I'll buy a motorcycle, like, or one day I'll build one,
I still want one.
They're fun. Like I used to love going out to Sturgis, or every year from like SoCal, we'd ride out to like Street Vibrations out in Reno and stuff, and we'd be like 300 bikes deep rolling out there.
Oh, shit.
That's fun. It's a good time.
So
I
I
still
got
have all the bikes when I got to Miami.
yeah,
I
you got any
I,
bikes?
I grew up in Rapid, which is right outside Sturgis. So
Oh,
I
so
grew
you're
up
just not
kinda
even that far, dude.
with that bug. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yes, Jason Bacon, DVS, he is a legend in the game. He's been in
Oh,
the game. For
thank
a long.
you.
Yeah, Misfit.
There she goes,
Custom.
Misfit
There we
Metal
go.
Flake.
There's her. Yeah, dude,
Yep.
they're fucking like some of the colors. I was just like, holy shit! Like, yeah, better than
Yeah.
some other ones that I've seen.
I love
don't know
I
if
love
I-
the bike scene.
No.
Like that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a huge bike fan too. I got a road glide and a street glide. So
Yeah,
that's
you
what
got
I had.
anything flaked out all crazy, or they're just regular stock bikes?
my street glide, I laid frame on it and did all the stuff to do that. It's a 2015.
Damn.
It was all bagged and laid down, and
Yeah.
I was riding with
Stock
a
sucks.
group of friends, and
Yeah.
my chick got bumped into, and
Oh,
it was at a stoplight. The light turned green, and the lady just bumped her, and she kind of just fell over and fell into my other buddy. And that day when I had to pull out in the middle of an intersection, lay my bike out, go over there, help her lift her bike up, then air mine back up and pull off, and there's like 4 lanes going each way, so it was gnarly. I was like, and then we got into the canyon after all that stuff was done, and they just dusted me. I couldn't even keep up because my bike doesn't only lifts so much, you know what I mean? And so
okay.
I would be railing my frame all the way through the canyon. I was like, at that point, I took it all off and put just regular sports suspension on it.
Damn.
But I just ended up candy painting it. It's like a candy brandy wine and a candy apple red. And then I put a 26-inch wheel on it and all this other stuff. So I'm thinking about putting bags back on it, but not laying frame again, just so it doesn't go as low,
Oh, okay.
But truly, I love my road glide. It's lifted 2 inches. I mean, I can barely touch the ground most of the time. It handles amazing. It's got Race Tech suspension on it. I've got the motor all done up. I've got like all kinds of shit done on it, and that is my favorite thing to ride. I think it just screams. It's amazing.
Hell yeah,
But that's my
man.
baby. The red one, it's cool, but it's more of like a show bike, and it's not that. I don't know. I like the road glide better.
Yeah. See, I haven't bought a bike yet. I wouldn't mind to. Someday I'll buy one.
No, you won't.
I will.
They're fun.
I almost got one years ago. I almost got like a ghetto, like rat rotted out Shadow, and a friend of mine who was had a bike club and he passed away. He always told me you never want to sit on them as a buyer. Like you can look at them, but you never want to
Dan
sit on.
Larson.
What up, Dan Larson?
What up,
Like
Dan?
you never want to sit on it because if you don't buy it,
Then
you
you're
already
committed.
sat on it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I sat on it and I was committed and the dude backed out in the end. And then he called me like 4 weeks later. He's like, "You still got that car?" I was like, "Nah, dude, that thing's gone, bro." I was like, and then that was it. But it was sick because everything was like right there. Like, you know how when you get on some bikes, you have to like stretch yourself out to grab something. Everything was just right in reach. It felt good. And I was ready to do it. And then he backed out. So
Yeah, none of
that
my
happens.
bikes were comfortable. They were all like T-bars and stuff.
yeah, nah, this one was just like
All
short bar
Cali
style.
style.
It
That's
was
what my
just
road
like-
glide is. My road glide has T-bars as well.
Yeah, because I was living up in Oakland, like when I had my last Harley, so everything had T-bars and stuff on it. So it's like it's not comfortable for long rides.
I like them. I don't mind them at all. I have ape hangers on my street glide, and they're too fat and too wide, so it like almost hurts your arms after a while.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, they're not huge or
Yeah, out
anything.
there
They're
like
just
that.
normal, like
Yeah,
12s
like
or
you
something.
just-
Yeah,
like,
once you get used to T-bars, it's so comfortable, and it's a lot easier to maneuver and stuff. And you get on something with wider bars. It just sucks.
what's
It's
my page
Roland
again?
Reckless.
Yeah, go to ROLLINRECKLEZZ.
There we go. See, Leah put it up.
dot
And you
CA.
can-
RCK.
Appreciate it, Leah.
Yeah. And then you can also go to deviouscustoms.com and you can check out Jeff's merch.
When will we see a devious creation, huh? Oh man, I don't know.
No, well, here's a question before you start that with the DVS creation. DVS creation plus Wilco. What happened with that,
Oh,
man?
there we go.
What happened with
Um,
DVS Wilco? I remember that in the low life video that I still watch every once in a while.
So I don't know how many people know this, but there was 3 partners in the Devious Wilco.
Oh, shit.
Courtney Hollowell was one of them, and then Bill
Wow.
Hancock was another. Both my best friends in the whole world, you know. I think we kind of let it go. I think it was right around the time that the market crashed
Mm,
in 07, 08. I don't think we ever really made any money at it. You know what I mean? Like we made a few wheels and it was cool to do and all that stuff. And the funny part is, I mean, Courtney passed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it just kind of fell apart. I think Bill retired and he moved back to North Carolina there, and it was a good run while we did it. We had a lot of fun. It was cool to say we made a bunch of cool wheels and stuff. But I am currently making wheels now, but I'm only doing 1 or 2s here and there because
okay.
I kind of do it for my high end customers that want their own wheel, and I give it the I usually
Well,
give them
someday I'll
the
save
wheels
my
their last name and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Someday I'll
it's
save
just-
my pennies and get some wheels from you.
it's a lot of work, and
Yeah.
I'm not in the game to make wheels. You know what I mean? It's more of just the icing on the cake when I build a car for somebody.
Mm.
So
That's
Yep.
tight though, because then you get the car and then a one-off set of wheels with it, and then it's like, boom.
well,
Yeah.
as I grew, I started in a 750 square foot shop, and I shared it with the stereo guy when I first started almost 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember my first purchase. I had a Harley Davidson Snap-on toolbox. I can't
Ah.
remember what 75-year edition or some 50-year or something like that. I don't remember. And what I did is I just started buying stuff one by one. My first big purchase was a drill press. I already had a welder and I had my toolbox. And now we've gone up to I have a full machine shop now, a laser, all that fun stuff. So
That's tight
um,
though.
it's
You can make your own stuff.
well, I got tired of waiting on people or being under the mercy of somebody else. So I figured if I can control everything in house and I can hire people to do it, then at least I can have I can do what I want, when I want, how I want, and I know the timeline. You know what I mean? Versus, you order a set of wheels from somewhere else. It could be 4 to 6 weeks. It could be 8 to 10 weeks. You know what I mean? So
And when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to wheels and one-off stuff, it's like me. I got a set of 6 lugs. I have a 6-lug pattern, and everybody tells me, just go to 5 lug. Just go to. I'm like, I just don't. I'm like, I if I have to buy a Chevy rim, like a Chevy style, like an aftermarket wheel that'll fit a Chevy to have a wheel, hey, that's fine. Like I know the 5-lug conversions are very easy.
mhm.
That's tight, like that shirt. But what up, Daryl? He likes the shirt.
We gotta go
But no,
all the way.
okay. He's trying to show everybody the
over.
shirt, the mini trucks with zero fucks,
Well, no,
with 0 fucks given.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Sorry, shopping.
Yeah.
Uh,
See, everybody's.
Oh, yeah, I'll set-
Now you got everybody sending the. I want to send the picture.
I would probably be shopping right now if we were on this video.
I have so much stuff I haven't even put on the website yet because when I find time I throw stuff up there, whatever. But like sitting behind me is mountains of merch that I've just been sitting
Yeah.
here making and getting up there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dang, dude.
That's fun.
Hell yeah. Fucking crazy. All right, guys. A couple more questions left. And
we got to let Eric get to work.
I know.
Or sleep.
I know he's.
I don't know what he
he's-
needs to do.
I don't know what time
Which way you going?
You're good. Yeah, I got to be up in 3 hours and head
3
to work.
hours.
Yeah, because I work in for the military, I work in a command center essentially. So I dispatch like helicopters and surface assets for like search and rescue cases or anything that's going on like 200 nautical miles.
So
off
right
the
now,
coast
as we
of
speak,
overseas.
someone's trying to be found in the middle of the sea.
Yep. Yeah. So if you're like 200 nautical miles off the coast or in foreign countries and your boat
Give it
is
a few
sinking,
minutes.
it's
Eric will get
probably
to his job.
it's probably me that is dispatching whatever assets or contacting those
you're
countries
like
to try and
the-
get your ass saved
Okay. So you're like the 911 of like
of
kind
the
of
ocean.
dude.
Yeah, so that's
All
why
those
I mean,
He's
'cause we have a
important.
we have a
That's all he
24-hour
matters.
command
He's
center, so-
important.
Important.
That's all that matters right
Yeah,
now.
he's important. He's
Yeah,
trying to make
it's a
sure
fun it's a
everybody's
fun
safe.
job. I mean, it gets
Yeah?
sometimes it's really busy if there's a lot going on. Other times you're not doing anything because nobody's boats are sinking or whatever. But you have to be there in the command center for 12 hours at a time. So you're there on a computer. So you're either going to be really bored or like me, I stay productive. And I'm like, well, I'll go to school full time and go get my master's because I use my
Well,
free
don't
time.
worry,
Or I'll
Jeff
sit
has
or I'll
both.
sit there and design like T-shirts and work on websites
Yeah.
or update Etsy shops or whatever it is. So like I find ways to stay productive and stay connected to the scene because I can't sit there on Facebook or anything because
Yeah,
we're not allowed to
when
have
you're
cell
at
phones
work,
or
yeah.
Bluetooth devices
Yep, there we
or
go.
anything
Oh,
in there.
Pop
So
up for 2 seconds.
There we go.
yeah, there you go.
That's tight. But
Yeah.
don't worry, Jeff has a boat. So
Yeah, there you go.
I have 3
Jeff
boats.
has a boat and he's got 3. So if something happens, he'll just be
One's
like,
always broken. I'll
Yeah.
call you.
People are crazy with boats. They just buy them and they don't register any of the like EPIRBs
just
or
drive 'em out in
stat
the middle of
phones or
nowhere.
anything on it. They just go out and then expect people to find them. Like it don't work.
Learn
that
the hard way, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
you better
It's-
carry some flares on your boat, Jeff, just in
Yeah.
case.
some of the stuff I
my
see.
my
I'm just
lake
like,
is very small, and most of the time we're doing 5 miles per hour. So
yeah. I
We're
mean, on a
good.
lake, you're safe. Someone's gonna find you. But when
Right.
you're 200 miles offshore and you don't have a sat phone or an EPIRB or a
Holy
radio on
shit,
board,
dude,
like
damn.
play
We have
stupid
a-
games, win stupid prizes.
we have a community patrol. So like if you run out of gas or your battery dies or you get too
Yeah.
drunk, they just throw you home for free.
Oh shit!
I've used it twice this year.
Oh shit!
And
It's
neither
like
of those
the
were the
Chick-fil-A of
picks.
the water.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like the lakes. I go out to Havasu pretty often. My
Yeah.
dad also
Well, shit,
builds
dude,
like,
you're not
old-
that
old
far.
hot rod. Yeah, so my
Sick.
dad's got a couple boats out in Havasu that he keeps out there because
Okay.
he builds old hot rod boats and stuff. And
All
so
right.
he keeps some at the lake out in Milledgeville, and he keeps a couple out in Havasu. So like
That's
I'll
awesome.
fly out there with him, like him, my brother, and my dad, and we'll just like hang out in the canyon and ride boats and
Fuck
stuff.
yeah, dude, that's
That's
badass.
rad.
Co-host wants to know, is there a code?
There is. Type in reckless 10. It'll give you 10% off anything on the
There you
website.
go, 10%.
Reckless
His
10.
name is Johnny.
Mhm.
Jesus, Leo. All right, there we go, Johnny Adolfo. Yeah. Look, guys, and it's been crazy. And I know you guys are like, you guys been building a lot of crazy things, and and then aftermarket parts are being built, and it is tough when you're waiting for people, like when you're waiting on somebody to fucking get the part done or finish something, or and it's cool when you have it all in house and you can control it, and you can be like, hey, if I need this part, boom. But
Mhm.
then you got people like, hey man, what do you charge to make this part, or how much, and then you're like, well, I don't do that. But if you like how you're doing, like you don't do wheels, but if somebody comes at you with a good number and be like, hey man, I need a set of wheels, and it's like, all right,
Yep.
cool. So have you ever gotten that, like, are you guys ever going to get to the point to where like, all right, cool, Eric, some point you can have somebody just bam, bam, knocking out your apparel for you, so you don't have
Yeah.
to be like,
Well, I want to do it all in house myself. Honestly, is like because like when I started it up, I had sourcing companies that I was getting it all done through because I just didn't have the time to do it myself. And slowly, I've been taking that away from them and getting my own setup in my house where I have like all my own shirt presses and hat presses now, and I can cut all the decals and everything that I need. So I've been teaching myself how to do everything myself, obviously to cut cost, so that way I can put more money into the brand and build it bigger, essentially is what I'm trying to do. But ultimately I would like to just use like a full-on screen printing place later on down the road when the volume of sales would be worth it to use something like that, versus if you're only selling 10, 20, 30 hoodies a week and some hats or whatever, it's easier just to press them myself in house at a low cost
instead of having to spend the
I used to have a screen printing machine in my garage, so I would
shit.
literally stay up for 2 or 3 days straight building cars to go to a show, and then the night before the show, I'd go in my garage and screen print shirts.
That's what I've been doing for the last week. Literally, is
Oh man, I don't envy you
getting
because that's
ready
a lot
for-
of fucking work, especially when you're already
Yeah.
exhausted.
yeah.
The,
It's good to be able to do both, because a lot of times, like if you go to these shows, especially as a vendor, like you don't know if it's going to suck and you're not going to make any sales, or it could
It's
be
always a hit
completely
or miss.
unexpected and you sell out and you're like, well,
Yeah.
shit, I don't have anything left and I have a show next weekend or whatever. So like
It's
I
always
always
a
bring
hit or miss.
presses and stuff with me
You're not
now.
waiting
so
on
I
somebody
can go
else.
back to the
Yep.
hotel
Yep.
and press a few things out.
Instead
So
of having to
shirts
fucking
back.
make a call and go, hey man, I need so many shirts like right the fuck now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
That's why I'm stockpiling right now because I'm like, well, I'm about to do like 5 shows back to back to back, and I'll still take the presses and stuff with me just in case. Because some of the shows I've been to that I thought were going to be shitty shows, like I sold out at them, and some of the shows I thought were going to be bangers, and you barely make the booth price at them. So it's like it really just depends. Like
Mhm.
especially now with like the way the economy is and stuff, like people.
I've watched that with Leah as well. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, how'd you do this weekend? She's like, either yay or nay. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
You
yeah.
never know.
it's
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 always
about
a
being
hit
in
or
front of the people also, though. You know, and
Yeah.
networking. You know,
That's what a lot of shows like don't understand too, and some of them are really good about it, but some aren't. And vendor prices are going up, and obviously the economy is heavy, and it's like, and they don't really take into account like, hey, I got to pull a truck and a big ass trailer 4 states away. I got to pay for hotels. I'm paying your $500 or $1,000 vendor booth price or whatever it is for the show, plus the money I'm sinking into merch. And so it's like if you're not making double that just to break even, like you just wasted your whole weekend.
Yep.
that's
when,
why every
like,
time I had a booth back when we did a lot of mini truck shit, we had it stacked full. Like literally, barely walked through the booth to see all the trucks. You know what I mean? Because he's right. You spend so much money on all of it, and then getting it
Oh,
all
yeah.
there, and then for 1 day or a 2 day. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Usually, a
yeah,
2 day
and then-
shows usually suck on the second day, so
Yep.
you're losing money on the second day. But the first day you did really good, so I totally get it, man.
Yeah, it's you're rolling the dice on it all the time. And that's why like this year, like I hit as many shows as I possibly can, and I'm keeping a record of my phone of like all the shows that I did good at, all the ones that I did bad at. And you kind of you got to figure
Yeah,
out whatever
that's
schedule
all you can
works
do
for
is,
you
you
and
know,
your brand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wherever you guys are gonna sell the most merch, obviously you're gonna go back if you don't do good.
Yep.
Yeah, because
you're not-
it's always a hit or miss
Oh, yeah.
because you know
Yep.
you can go to one show and everybody will buy everything.
Yep.
You can go again next year to the same show and you won't sell a dime.
Yep.
You know, or
It's
and
crazy.
people don't think that, and it's like, like
Well,
for
that's how everybody makes a living. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
all these
Yeah.
vendors. I mean, all you guys.
Yeah.
That's how your livings are
Yep.
made. That's how you guys travel. That's how you
Mhm.
guys fund new merch. That's what
Yep.
a lot of people don't think about is buying the merch at shows. It's you're giving extra income
Yep.
going out.
And
Granted,
that's-
some of the vendors they lower the prices. Like, all right, cool, it's like $25 online. Well, then you have shipping and handling.
Yeah, but I like some vendors where they go, all right, cool. You want to buy this shirt, but I'll sell you 2 more if you want to do a bundle.
Yep, a bundle.
Bundle for
It's always about
a
the
bigger
bundle
amount
deal.
of money, but you
Those
get
bundle
more
deals
stuff.
get me every time. I hate
See,
those
yeah.
bundle deals.
That's where it's at.
I
Like
hate them.
like how you guys are saying with like how when you go to people, your merch is expensive. Yeah, but the thing is like,
But it's
hey,
worth it.
it's worth it because shit, you know how much a regular T-shirt costs at a ghetto K-Momo right now, or like
Where
Walmart.
is there a ghetto
Yep.
Kmomo?
I don't
That's
know.
the,
'Cause
that's
I
the
don't buy
thing
anything
too is
there.
like we have to put our prices up at shows lately and stuff because they're charging more money to make the shirts
Yep.
for you and stuff, which is why I'm printing them in house now myself or doing my own hats and all that stuff because I can keep
That's what I want to do.
the cost down and
I
give
wanna
somebody a
start doing
$20
all this
T-shirt
shirt.
versus a $30.
And God forbid you break axle or brake or blow a tire or something, because then your cost goes up even more. And it's
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Or, no, body
That,
drop.
that just happened. That just happened to Body
Yeah,
Drop
yeah,
at Mini Nats, and it's like, luckily the scene is as great as it is, and everybody went online and was ordering merch from them.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah. When
this
yeah
and
when
that to
when
try and make
when
their-
Body Drop Clothing did their
Yeah.
Yeah,
on their
body
trailer,
drop. They
yep,
were on the way out. Yep.
they're on their way out.
Yep.
The fucking trailer. took
That's
shit.
a big hit because it's like
Yeah.
they got to pay for
Oh,
the
yeah.
truck, the trailer. Now they lost all the money on travel,
yeah.
vendor
But-
booth, and
but-
all the merch
And
they
that's
put
the
into
thing,
it.
people don't realize that, like,
Oh, yeah.
shit happens on the way when you got to go somewhere. You know,
yeah.
Yep.
It always does.
You know.
You
especially
watch-
when you ride with me.
Yeah,
None of my friends like to go to shows with me anymore. I just go on my own. I go, I'll meet you
Oh,
there. Okay,
shit.
don't worry about it.
that'd be my friend.
Well,
I've had
hey,
some epic road
I'll make
trips,
sure
man.
I'll make sure if I see Big D, I'm like, so is it true you don't want to go to shows with Jeff anymore?
Nope, nobody likes to ride with me.
No, oh shit. What kind
They're
of
like,
music?
we're
do you
leaving
put
the
on
day
when they're
before.
driving?
That way we don't have to deal with your shit.
yeah.
Fucking shit, man. And that's crazy though, because like the scene has changed so much from what I when I came into the scene, and then how Jeff seen the evolution and Eric coming into the scene. The scene is so different now Do you guys think we're gonna wind up still doing what we're doing, or are we gonna be like the new age hot rodders, or will we continue to be getting there? Like how you said,
That's
next
tough
level.
because I don't know that the younger kids really get into mini trucks. I mean, I don't. If you guys follow me, I have a 20-year-old autistic son, and that kid is all about it. Unfortunately,
yeah.
he can't drive.
Ah,
Yeah.
So we're working on that. We've been driving a little bit here and there, but not on the streets, of course, but off road and what have you. We got
Yeah.
Razor and all that fun stuff. So
oh yeah.
yeah, but he's in it. But I don't see many more kids. Like I have some younger kids that work for me at the shop. I think one is 20, just turned 24 yesterday, and it blew his mind when he saw my S10. He's like, "Holy shit, you can do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
huh?"
Can.
Yeah.
Because
Hold on
they're
there,
kind of
watch
in
this.
the scene like Eric was back in the day, all the Hondas and all that stuff. So that's kind of what they do, or I don't know, maybe a little drift cars or whatever. But uh, showing him that opened his eyes. So hopefully, maybe he'll take on and start being part of that kind of stuff
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Because it is a good scene, a good
It's
group of people.
it's like Mike says, what mini truck that's newer, like 2000s up, would you consider working on and adopt to the mini truck culture? That's anything.
Yeah,
Wayne.
That's anything.
That's anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
You got S10s. You've got Frontiers, the newer body style Frontiers.
You got a Suzu's. You got Mavericks.
No, Isuzu's no. You've got the
Suzu
Maverick.
Hombre,
The Mavericks.
Hombres. Yeah, the old
I don't know
Hombres.
what are Mavericks.
The
Mavericks.
Rangers.
It's a fucking the
It's
Maverick.
a unibody.
Yeah,
Isuzu,
I don't know
Isuzu
that.
Hombre is a glorified S10.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but the Mavericks are those classified as a mini truck, or is Maverick
in
classified
Austra-
as a half ton?
In Australia, from what I see,
Maverick
there
is more
are
of a
mini
car,
trucks.
like a unibody car, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a unibody. It's the bed goes in.
It's width
to the
and form.
cab.
Yeah, it's not. I don't
That
know.
for me, that goes with Honda Ridgelines and
Yeah.
Teslas. They can all
Hell
take
yeah.
them.
Teslas
Oh,
on the
yes.
Ridge.
Honda Ridgelines and Teslas. All right.
Dude, those
That's,
Honda
that's gonna be the
Ridgelines-
future. It's gonna be all cyber mini trucks and stuff.
I did we got a guy in the club in Florida, and he was posting his Tesla that he bagged and put wheels on. And he's in the club with. I'm like, how the fuck is that in the club? He's like, then he started texting me, "Hey Jeff, we cool?" I'm like, "Oh, we're totally cool. I just don't agree with that." So
Yeah, that's and that's
No, that's the funny part. Remember driving back from work.
yeah. Yep.
Were you with me?
No, I don't think so.
No, no, there was a Tesla, and all right, cool. I was driving the mini truck, cool, doing my thing, and he's like, "Hey, thumbs up," and I aired it out, laid it out on the ground, and then he did his little thing on the fucking
Oh yeah,
tablet
yeah.
or
The
whatever,
old man.
and
Yeah,
he-
it was me and you
and
in
he's
the
all-
Tesla.
and it
Yeah.
lowered like an inch,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like, "Oh, that's cute."
yeah. We were
I'm like,
yeah,
that's cute.
yeah. We were literally right next to
You
an
know, it
old
was
man.
like, "Oh, that's cute, bro." I'm still.
I mean, I get it. Everybody has to have their little whatever they like. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
And if they love it, more power to them. They're happy. I don't give a shit. But you won't see that
you
at
know
my
what's
house.
tight? You know
Yeah.
what's tight? And this is how everybody says it. If it wasn't for mini trucks, they wouldn't have the technologies they got in Teslas. Nobody. If it wasn't for us putting weird ass TV screens and computer screens and fucking crazy consoles,
Yep.
know.
crazy interiors, you wouldn't see the
know.
interiors that you see in these new cars. You wouldn't
Did
see
you guys-
the hidden LEDs or
The Titan we-
like
the-
the,
the-
Kias
yeah,
The
and all
Titan
that,
we built for
lights up and
yeah, you wouldn't see that because if it wasn't for a mini truck. Because
yeah.
I believe, this is just me, I believe that car manufacturers send somebody to go to shows like these
No, they don't.
to see what's going on.
No, they wait until it goes out on the internet.
when we built the Titan for Tito. Ghetto Bob put 2 TVs in the tailgate. I don't think they're ever wired or ever worked. And then he had put Hater Vision in the steering wheel.
See, that's and now you see
Hey,
that in like donks and shit now.
No, so
Yeah.
we're already doing a whole bunch of body work on the truck.
Yeah,
Can we let's just put a TV on the tailgate.
fucking.
We're
Thanks
going
a lot,
we're going
Jeff.
back early 2000s.
Thanks a lot,
Make
Jeff.
it-
Now I gotta-
Make it big
We're
enough
going
to be your
all the way
license
back.
plate.
Yep.
And then the numbers start dancing and moving.
Oh,
That's
God,
fine.
this fucking-
That's fine.
Don't give him
have
ideas.
We'll have the license plate change up the different phrases instead of Die Bart. It's gonna say like
just
a whole bunch of fun shit.
Thanks a lot.
The
Jeff.
colors will change and the states will
Yep.
change. So like one
Yeah,
week
that's-
it'll be
that's
North
what I
Carolina.
That's on my team.
Jeff's
flip
Team
down
Barco
TVs.
right
There you
now.
go.
Yeah, Florida plates the next
Oh,
day.
El Barco.
Flip down TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flip down TV. Damn.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that'll be like the fucking when they used to do the flip down license plate gas tank. Oh, and he's
Oh.
not.
Hang on.
We're not. I'm not being sponsored, but if you go to ZarateSteel.com, you can get the license plate, hidden license plate.
It's $450.
I know, but remember how much they used to cost years ago? But it comes with everything. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are lowrider hydros. Yes, they are. And mini trucks or bags. Zarate has his Toyota Tacoma on hydraulics. There's several mini
Just
trucks.
plain trick.
Just plain trick. They did
Just
a
plain
Tacoma.
trick. No, they just posted a video.
Oh, of that tilt bed.
The
Yeah.
tilt bed like flawlessly opens
And then you just see everything underneath.
everything. No,
That's
no
good.
Hydraulics.
jerkiness, no
Yeah.
resistance. Like it just. That was
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
but
that's
I'm
what I
telling you,
wanted to do on my C10 was tilt bed it instead of
Yeah.
having the back
See,
lift.
I was
up
gonna
the
do
way
a
it
tilt
does
bed.
now, but-
I was gonna do a tilt bed on mine, and then everybody out here in AZ started doing the tilt bed thing, and I was like, nope, I'll wait. I'll wait till it dies down, and then I'll bring it back, and then I'll be part
See,
of the
that's
cool
why I
kid
don't.
club of bringing back the tilt bed and like.
That's
10
why I
years.
don't pull out my convertible because everybody's got a convertible now. Everybody's got a convertible Mazda or a
We
convertible
can chop the
Nissan.
windshield
Fuck you.
9 inches.
No, we're not.
9
Goddamn,
inches.
this fool chopping 9 inches
No,
out of a
9
windshield.
inches. 9 inches with a body drop. Oh, we're winning.
Yep, that'd be
Just
clean.
saying, we're winning everywhere we go.
See, you hear that, guys? I don't know. I'd be fucking beating up the.
I know.
I'll
the-
be like this, dude. I'll be
That's
like-
fine. I know.
Yeah,
I know
you-
the low truck out here. I built
I
it.
uh,
I built it.
I sectioned a square body S10 one time,
Yeah.
3 inches out of the middle of the whole truck.
Oh fuck.
Fuck.
It was bad, and then I doored it. So like the wheels were like 16-inch, I think, is the biggest I could go with little tiny tires on it.
shit.
Okay, but what?
It was
Where did
gnarly.
you section it out? Like where? Like was it
They
noticeable?
got the
or
top
was
body
it-
line and the bottom body line. It was right in the middle, where
Oh,
the
shit.
crown of the body was the fattest, so you could take the
Yeah.
middle out. And when you put the two together, it looked good, so it didn't look like it was all like, you know.
Damn.
That's
He's
wild.
not wrong.
Damn, dude,
now,
that
now
looks
putting
fucking-
now putting that image in my head. Oh yeah, you can take 3-4 inches out of that.
So that's a hot rod trick there.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, full like you're sitting on what 20.
No, he was sitting on 16.
Yeah, but you
16s.
don't get an idea, and you're gonna be like, I'm gonna.
Because the tires were going to be higher than the hood, and I wasn't going to
Yeah.
cut a hole through the tires come through, you know.
Okay, how is
I
your
would.
how do you guys feel when people are like fucking building those horrendous
When what?
cow hoods, the horrendous cow hoods, like the cow hoods that you look at it and you're like, why would you do that? Like how like
to cover your motor.
I know, but some of them look really fucked up.
Like really tall, square.
Yeah, like real
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Point.
Yeah, that's ugly.
It's all
Yep.
about.
I can't
our
talk too
culture.
much shit because my S10 has a fucking regular cow hood on it. And,
Okay,
and
I'm not-
eventually someday
not
I'm going to
a
cut the
fan.
intake up and redo it. But as soon as I do that, Eric, what happens? You start taking everything apart, and then all of a sudden you got a full fucking build, and I don't want that. I want to drive it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know. That's why like everyone's like,
Yep.
I drove my truck when I turned 40, and then I parked it.
Wait, no,
Yeah, I did. I dro-
39.
Well, yeah,
No,
39.
39.
I drove it at 39.
Motherfucker, you
Around the block.
I
It was literally around the block.
I was already sitting out with you,
Yeah.
ripping the bed off the parts
Yeah,
truck
and it was around
at
the block.
40.
Yeah, and it was around the
No.
block. And then and then I drove it on the freeway. I took off in it and I drove it on the freeway, and then I ran out of gas because $20 is not $20, you know, with the fuel cell.
No,
That's-
don't let
yeah.
him fool you. No.
Yeah, no, I don't drive it a lot. I don't. I really
No,
fucking
we
don't.
just need to have like a weekend get together with everybody and like let's make this turd bucket go.
Yeah, I know. Everybody wants to make it go, but
Yeah, it
I
needs to
know.
go.
it will someday.
No, it
will.
needs to go.
Someday.
Ding. And
I have
bring-
30
Bring it out,
projects.
bring it
I
out
did
to
the
Maggie
same
Valley
thing
next
about-
year.
What was that, Jeff?
I have 30 projects I say the same thing about. Someday.
No,
I got
no, this is it's forever someday. This
I got a
is forever
1991
someday.
Peterbilt 379 that I hammered on the ground, put big 12-inch stacks on it. It's painted
Damn.
like a candy red. I don't know if it's candy, maybe pearl. I don't know. Anyways, it's
Fancy.
sick. And it's like this close from being done. And guess what I do? I walk by that motherfucker every day and don't touch it.
Damn. See?
I need to fix that. I need to fix that because that would be epic.
That would be epic. Jason says I did on a hood on my for a reason. It clears the intake and small enough to see over while.
What do you need to see over? Just do
Yeah.
what Ace Ventura.
Stick your head outside.
Head out the window. Just you're good.
If you can't see out over your hood, you should put your phone down because when you're texting and driving, you can't see.
Ah!
I'm just talking shit. I do the same thing. I have an hour
God, I
trip to
love
work
it
every
right
day.
Right?
Yep.
Shit. All right. When it comes to where can everybody find you guys, we're almost getting down to the wire. Yeah, we're almost getting down to the wire. Where can everybody find your guys' websites? Where can they reach you at if they want to get work done
Merch.
and merch? You know,
My website is deviouscustoms.com, and the customs is plural, so it's deviouscustoms.com.
all right.
And
you
then
can find everything
Instagram
in
and
it.
Facebook and all the other shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't call me to get work done because I'm not taking anybody in.
Okay, so no work. No work
I
unless
have
you
too
got
much
big
to
trucks.
do. We have 15,000 square feet and about 20 projects going right now. So
God damn.
Just 20.
we are
Jeez.
to the limit.
Yeah.
Damn. Are you taking in you guys any SEMA
No.
stuff?
I hate SEMA.
Yeah.
There you go. Me too.
I'm with him.
Yeah. I haven't been in probably 3 or 4 years now. I only will do SEMA if the cards are like 3/4 of the way done when somebody asks me to do it. But this bullshit of building the truck in 3 months and then taking it there and then spending the next year to fucking fix everything, not my deal.
Horrible. It's all hack
Not my
jobs
jam.
showing up there.
Yeah.
It's like,
But if I have a car that's like really close and it's possible to get it done by November, yeah, I'll do it. But
Yeah.
other than that, I won't touch it.
yeah, you're like, I'm not gonna push anything out there with missing parts.
Yeah, I've done. I
That's
think
the lifted scene at SEMA right there. Missing drive
Yeah.
shafts and
Bluetooth.
crazy.
They're
Yeah.
not missing. It's Bluetooth.
It's Bluetooth.
That's what
Yeah.
everybody's
Yeah,
doing. Is
Bluetooth by-
Bluetooth axles.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, like seeing
What-
all that.
Oh,
where I'm
yeah,
like,
I think the
Man.
most cars I've done is 15 at SEMA one time.
Oh, shit.
I've won the GM Design Award with me and Tito and a bunch of crew that put the S10 together, the green and cream one.
Nice.
The Titan was a last minute deal again. Courtney's green and black 53 Chevy.
truck,
That was
yeah.
a 3-month project.
That
So
one
I've done
went
quite
all
a
around the
few,
world.
and I've proved myself over and over again, and I don't want to do it anymore.
But Courtney's truck went around the world. It went to Australia also, didn't it?
No, that's another truck that was being built
okay.
by one of our buddies down in Australia. He actually, Laurie Starling, also passed away. He got shot down there.
Another. He
Yeah,
was
this-
ahead of his time. He was ahead of his
He-
time building.
He was an awesome dude. That guy would just show up and like start working, and I'd walk through the shop and I'd be working on something. And I'd go look over. I'm like, "The fuck are you doing here?"
And
He's like,
"I
"You
just
got
showed
shit
up."
to do. I'm gonna help you. We can hang out later." I'm like, "You didn't even say hi."
Yeah, and that's crazy because like when your friend shows up like that, and you're just like, all right,
Yeah.
let's do it. You know, it's like
Rad, dude.
that's motivation, bro. That's
Rad, dude.
ultimate motivation. Like,
The last 2 or 3 months is really, really hard for me because of Courtney passing, Lori passing, Jen Sutton
now-
just passed. That's sad. I have a lot of friends that have passed in Vaughn from in the club, Native Camper as well from back east, and just it goes on and on. Derek and name
Alex.
after name. It's just a real hard few months for me, right? Going through here. So
It just sucks because like I've met so many people, and I wish I would have got to meet Courtney. I was lucky enough to meet Alex and
Too.
a few other,
Mhm.
and
yep, Alex.
and it was just
No, conveniently, what are you wearing?
Yep.
and that's the whitest ass I know. That's
Yeah.
that's how I met him.
Yeah.
That's how I remember Alex always. The fucking
Yep. Alex is
funniest
an awesome
man,
dude.
always making everybody laugh, and the whitest ass you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
West in Australia, yeah, Australia, dude. They're your guys and negative campers out there.
Mhm. We got a lot of people out there.
So
Awesome.
many clubs out there, And,
Jamie Starling is still out there. That's Lori's
Yeah.
brother. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully, if we can get him on the dial and we can bring him on. I had Bo.
Yeah, he's
Ramon.
awesome. He should definitely do that. He's a good dude.
Oh, definitely. Because I had Bo Ramon out here from. He was petitioning for Perfect Poise, so he was out here from Australia. Yeah,
Oh,
and he was
no.
telling us about the
Canaries.
It's gnarly over there.
canaries, the canaries and the defective stickers, and I'm just like, and then
have
I bumped into
3.
Big D while I was working, and then Big D was like, "Oh, dude, no, that's the reason why EC started was because of the defective stickers." And and that was like the whole joke was how many defective stickers would a mini truck come in with,
Mhm.
in Australia. And that's crazy because like
I have 3.
that's crazy we don't have that here. Like
Mhm.
that
Well,
that would
everything
be
there
fun.
has to be engineered too. It has to be passed before they can build it.
That's
And
crazy.
if and they can't just like sneak it out on the street because if they get popped, they impound it and get rid of it.
See,
Yep.
that's
Yeah, that's
fucking
crazy.
I'm so glad.
Crazy,
I have
huh?
that's crazy, man.
I'm putting it on.
Yeah,
I
that's
literally ordered 4 defective, like
defective vehicle
officially
stickers.
from Australia.
Yeah,
stickers.
so he's got
That's
he's
rad.
got
So I'm
one.
gonna put one on mine because I mean that bitch is 100% defective.
Like it's just yeah. So I'm telling you, like that's how the scene starts. Like a lot of people don't
But it's
realize.
awesome.
Oh yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
don't realize that like a lot of car shows started off as like, dude, let's just see what let's just get a bunch of homies together. Let's just
There was a question earlier. I don't remember who asked it, but he asked something about our devious wheelco wheels on one of Fat Fab's projects.
yeah.
He asked what I thought about that. I just wanted to. I'm not trying to dodge the question because Jake at Fat Fabs is a really good friend of mine. So I was proud to see that and pretty excited.
Hell yeah.
And I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of
Dude.
friends in Oklahoma and a lot of club members in Oklahoma too. So everybody's kind of connected.
No, that's all and that's what people don't realize. It's a small world that a lot of people are connected. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh no. I was like, no, it's super small. It's always
Yeah,
gonna
no,
be small.
Yep.
but that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
our world is mini truckers, full size, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
I mean, the NC Severed Ties. They're in Australia, Japan, everywhere
They're
else.
everywhere, dude.
Yeah,
Sunset.
I mean, we go everywhere.
Yeah, it's always gonna be
We all have ties in different countries, every which way. You
shit.
really
We just
think
had
about it.
what was it? The guys that were just posted from Mexico. Mike, who are they from Mexico, Mike? The
Those Mexico guys.
Mexico dudes. Yeah.
But that's my point. Like we've got countries, different
it's
countries
that are in the
watching
scene.
that are in the scene that are putting their 2 cents in.
There we
It's
go.
right there.
De la calle bandidos from the street.
Say
gang.
that in English.
The street gang.
Oh, there you go. Thank you for putting it in the weight terms.
The street gang. All right. Jeez. I want to thank you guys again for being on the show,
No,
and
you guys rock.
and you guys are fucking amazing. You guys have been. Thank you, Eric, for staying up.
Oh yeah, appreciate
Yeah.
No
it.
worries.
You know,
Appreciate you having me.
Cool,
Eric,
cool.
I look
And-
forward to meeting you in
Try having
person
an
one
order
day.
in.
Definitely. I'll definitely catch you at a show.
Yes, like Leah
Yeah.
said, very small world and a big universe.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
pretty crazy because even if I have friends driving across country for family or whatever, and I always tell them, hey, if you get stuck or break down or need anything, give me a holler because I can yell at 100 people in any different direction from you. So, and that's cool, like everybody always competes to be better than each other, but at the end of the day, we can always reach out to each other if we need a jack or a new
Yep.
tire or whatever. You know what I mean?
And
Or a place to
everyone-
crash or what have you, So
Yep.
And that's the
That's
thing.
pretty
Like
awesome.
we're all trying to achieve the same goal. We're all trying to get everything going. So
fucking mini truckers.
Yep.
fucking mini.
And full
That's how
sizers.
it always goes. All right.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you guys for coming on the show once again. I want to thank
Thank-
Eric and Jeff, aka Mr. Devious. I want to thank you guys for coming in, joining us,
No,
and
thank you, guys.
hopefully we'll have you guys on again in another show. So
Yeah.
remember,
Thank
guys.
you guys for having us. I appreciate
no
it.
problem.
Anytime.
Yeah.
I love to do little podcasts all the time just because I like to connect with people. I find that older I get, the more I don't want to deal with anybody, or don't want to talk to anybody, don't want to see anybody. But that's not really the truth. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because I would have
that's
never
why you-
probably never met Eric, and now I look forward to meeting him. You know what I mean? So
And that's awesome. Yeah.
Likewise. Yeah. And like it is crazy. A small world. Like we have common friends. Like I'm friends with Leah. You're friends with Leah. And it's like
Yeah.
we're already
I'm
all
telling you, dude,
connected.
everyone's friends
And
with
you're,
Leah.
you're in Virginia
Yeah.
Beach. That's where my son's at. And I met
Yeah.
some other
Yeah.
guy today that's in the military, Virginia Beach. And I was
Yeah,
like,
tell
this
him
is
to
a
hit
small
me up.
world.
He
This is
wants to
awesome.
cruise around
you
the
know? So-
C10. I'll take him around.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
See, look at
Cruise.
that. That's awesome.
He has a C10 as well, so maybe I'll have
Yeah,
him hooked up
link
with
him
me.
up, link
there
him up
you
with me
go,
then, because
dude,
I don't
there
have
you go.
anybody out here with
He's gonna
C10s
go
that I
to,
cruise
he's gonna
around
go to
with.
work
Eric.
Yeah.
in the next couple
He just
hours.
bought it
Yeah.
and it runs and drives, but it's nothing fancy. But
Well, there you go.
hopefully
Now,
we can
now you
help
know
him
what to
fix
look
that.
for.
You know.
Yeah,
Now you know
definitely.
what to look
Hell yeah.
for, Eric. If you see his kid out there,
Clapped
you know,
out
Yep.
and
C10.
it's clapped out C10.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
I need
and
some
that's
folks to ride with.
and it's awesome that it is a small world, and you know, and Jeff, thank you for coming on. You know, thank you for your time, Eric. Thank you for staying up. and-
Eric, especially.
yeah,
Eric, thank
especially
you
Eric,
for
because
your
you got to.
service.
Yeah, thank you for your service and
Thank you for
Appreciate
Go
it.
get
working
some
like
sleep.
crazy. And,
Yeah, I'm gonna get 2.5
Thanks,
hours of
Jeff.
sleep, chug a Red Bull, and off to
All
work
right,
I
well,
go. But
well,
yeah, and then I got to go up to Maryland for the weekend because we got the
Oh,
Marilyn
shit.
Manson concert this weekend, so I'll be up there
Damn.
all weekend.
Yeah.
see, there you go. Fucking
There you
shit.
go.
Hell yeah.
It's
So
rough.
thanks
Rad.
everybody. Thank you guys
Yep.
for being on, and I'll be in touch with you guys later on, and hopefully we'll do this again.
Later,
All
guys.
right.
Everybody,
Appreciate
from
it.
Lay of Frame, have a good night.